Hi everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the SCU show. I'm your host SCU. Yes, I have no hair. It's gone. That's what happens when it's the middle of June. Finally, in your state, the barbershops finally open up, and yeah, that's the story. Stick it to it. I have my health head shaved because it's way too hot to where I am to not have all that hair that I had for the last 3 months. It's just too much. That's what happens. So anyway, we got a interesting show for you this week. Couple topics that the sports are coming back. I'm sure you are as glad as I am that sports are coming back this next month. Actually, we are in June. Sports come back in July, so the next time we have a show, which might not be next week, might be the week after, because 4th of July weekend. We'll see what happens. My brothers are coming down. Well, one up, one down. One's in New York. He's in the Army, Fort Drum. And my other brother's in Florida. He's coming up, and we'll see what happens with that. But 4th of July is next weekend, so we'll see how things go. All right, I want to start the show by talking about Dak Prescott. And I know I said I have had both sides of the story here when it comes to Dak Prescott. I said one side, Dak, he should get the deal. The other side, I said maybe he should, wait. Now I'm kind of like in the middle of the whole thing. I don't know. I don't know what should happen with Dak. I do know right now that Dak has signed his franchise tag. He is going to make $31.4 million in 2020. And now I think that the thing is, you got to see how it plays out. Really, you don't want to jump into conclusions. You don't want to, immediately say, oh, he's not going to sign it. They still have about 3 weeks at this point now. Tomorrow make 3 weeks, something like that, till it's to sign that contract. So we'll see. Actually, it's today because it's the 30 days in June thing. But anyway, so I think that, I don't know. I don't know what to think actually. Either he's going to sign the long-term deal on July 15th. Or he's going to be a free agent come the 2021 off season next summer. He'll be a free agent pretty much. And now I'm not going to go predicting if he's going to sign or if he's not going to sign. I'm just going to look at it as if he's playing under the franchise tag in 2020. Because as of right now, that's where we stand. And I thought about it. I was like, what needs to happen in order for Dak to get this deal done? What needs to happen? And I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I would like to see him play under the tag this year and then see what happens this year. And I even looked at the schedule, and I kind of saw that Dak's going to kind of be the same quarterback he was last year. Now, they play a fairly easy schedule to start the season off, and then they're going to have a rougher row in the middle towards the end. But I still have the Cowboys going 10-6, about 10-6, 11-5, probably just go over to 10-6. I just think that the Steelers game is a loss for the Cowboys. Somehow, some way, the Steelers find a way to pull off the win. Because I said the Steelers are going to have a down year, but I still think the Cowboys will give that game up somehow. But anyway, so I think that Dak Prescott should play under the tag this year, and then prove to everybody that he is willing. He has earned. I don't want to say deserved. He has earned his big contract. At the same time, I do see him being about the same quarterback as he was last year. Last year, he threw for almost 5,000 yards. He threw for 30 touchdowns and 11 picks. I kind of see the same here this year, based on who they're playing and the way the schedule goes for Dallas. I think Dak's can be pretty much the same quarterback, but the thing that's going to be the difference maker this time around is that he's going to win his division. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys, I have them winning the NFC East. No bias. I'm not a Cowboys fan anymore, but I do have the Cowboys winning the NFC East this year with the 10-6 or 11-5 record. And I say this all the time. Carson Wentz, I still feel like he's like, I don't say he's holding the Eagles back, because he did take them to a division title last year with a bunch of nothing. At the same time, it's Carson Wentz. And I went over to go watch the rant from last week. He's not, the quarterback's going to take you to the promised land. The Giants, who knows what we can expect from Daniel Jones at this point. And then Dwayne Haskins and the Redskins are still a bit of an offense. So not only do I think Dak will earn his money next year, I do think he will earn it. Next year, not this year. I think he has to. I think I would like to see him one more year under the tag, then show us what you're made of with CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. You have Blake Jarwin, your tight end. Of course, you have number one receiver, and Amari Cooper. I think he's going to throw about over 4,000 yards, obviously. About 29 touchdowns, 11 picks. Maybe he'll be one under the mark, maybe over. We'll see. But either way, I think Dak Prescott gets the deal. Maybe not this summer, but he definitely will get it next summer. And I think he runs that division for the 4 years he's under contract with the Dallas Cowboys. As I just mentioned, Carson Wentz holding the Eagles back, I think. Daniel Jones, you don't know what he's going to be like. Is he going to have a great year this year? Is he going to struggle more this year in a rookie year? We don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen with Daniel Jones. And the Redskins, like I said, are rebuilding their offense. So, Dak, do your thing this year. Show us that you earned that money. You're going to get that money, I believe, one way or another. Everybody knows that. I just think it should wait till next year. And then you win the division during your tenure with the Dallas Cowboys moving forward. So there you go. There you have it. That was a nice little rant to start the show, right? Episode number 43 of the SCU show. I have no hair, as I said before. After 3 months of no hair, I decided I'm tired of it. I want some hair, damn it. So I decided to go get me a haircut yesterday. Alright, let's switch gears here. This is ridiculous. This is the dumbest thing I've seen all offseason. And I've seen a lot of dumb things all offseason. As you know, I am not a big fan of Sam Darnold and Carson Wentz. And, of course, the man I idolize, sort of, Colin Cowherd, who I dreamed one day to take his chair at the Fox FS1 studios in LA or whatever the case is. He loves Carson Wentz so much. And yet, last week I went on that rant. And he loves Sam Darnold so much, and I keep telling everybody he's the same quarterback he was in college. He had 7 picks and 7 touchdowns at one point as a senior at UCLA, and people, USC, excuse me, and people still thought, number 1 pick though. He's number 1 pick though. You know what? I don't get it. But this is not what this rant is about. It's something else that I heard that was pretty freaking dumb. I'll give credit to the writer here. His name is John Bueller. Works for Fansided. He wrote an article, 5 players that could fall off the cliff. By the way, still injured thumb. 5 players that could fall off the cliff in 2020. I stopped at number 3 because he put up Drew Brees. And I was like, are you kidding me? Drew Brees falling off a cliff. In what manner does that make sense? And John Bueller wrote the article. He wanted to say, the Brees is 41 years old. He's getting old, and the Saints are already won without him. They've proven they can win without him. They were 5-0 with Teddy Bridgewater. Are you kidding me? Yes, the Saints went 5-0 with Teddy Bridgewater by beating the Chicagos and Jacksonvilles of the NFL. Not to mention they barely beat the Jaguars. That was a 13-9 game down in Jacksonville last year. Under the same coach, by the way, who's going to coach Drew Brees this year. Yeah, good for you, Teddy. I'm not trying to bash Teddy Bridgewater or anything. Yeah, the good job for Teddy Bridgewater winning 5 games, beating the Bears and the Jaguars of the NFL, the lower tier teams in the NFL, because that makes so much sense. It's redundant. It's ridiculous. The whole argument is ridiculous. With the same team, like I said, they're gonna play. They play with the same team. Brees went 8-3. He had a really good season, like 28 touchdowns, 4 picks. Nope, he missed 5 games. So what? You said you're just going to bail on Drew Brees now? Are you kidding me? He took the team to 13-3 record. They won the NFC South. Their first team, by the way, to win their division. They won on Thanksgiving night. The Saints know what they're doing, and has nothing to do with Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Brees. And obviously, Drew Brees is a big part of this. He's not deteriorating. That was a ridiculous take right there by John Bueller. Fansided again. So what I'm looking at is the Saints, they just got a number 2. And Emmanuel Sanders, he's clearly the number 2. I mean, Michael Thomas is the best receiver in the NFL, in my opinion. They just got a number 2 in Emmanuel Sanders. Yes, he broke his foot. He'll be back about week 4 or 5. And then it's over for everybody in the NFC South. Everybody talks about Tom Brady. They're going to be good. But, that chemistry issue, it's going to be a problem down in Tampa. And plus, I have the Saints sweeping the Bucs. So the Bucs, plus they still have Alvin Kamara. They have Michael Thomas. They have a great defense. They have Sean Payton as their coach. Drew Brees is one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. Deteriorating? Falling off the cliff? Not in this world. Not in this lifetime. The Saints are still a 12 or 13 win team, and that's the story. The Saints are going to make a playoff run. I don't think they'll make the Super Bowl, but they're going to make another playoff run. Hopefully this year, no more of the controversial endings for the Saints. It's a lot of that going on over there. In New Orleans, you've seen that the last few years. The Minneapolis Miracle, the controversy, no PI call against the Rams, and then obviously last year, people argue that Kyle Rudolph pushed off when the Vikings beat the Saints in the wildcard game. But the point is here, the fact of the matter is, to say that Drew Brees is going to fall off a cliff in 2020, or at all for probably the next 2 years of his NFL career, is one of the dumbest things that anybody could say. I'm just saying. So there, that was garbage. Not garbage. No, he made points. I get it. I used to write. I used to be a writer. You sports writer. I know. I get it. You want to get your point across. That's fine. You got to make a better argument that they won with Teddy Bridgewater. No. That's the dumbest argument I've heard all offseason. Again, no disrespect to John Bueller, but that's a crappy take. The other two players that I saw were, who was it? It was on the offensive line for the Rams. Andrew Whitworth. Andrew Whitworth was one of them. I don't think he'll deteriorate. He's probably one of the best tackles in the NFL. And I don't remember the other guy, but I saw after number 3, I was like, oh God, that's it. I'm done. I'm not reading any more of this crap. All right, final topic of the day. We have a very short show this week because tonight I'm recording on a Wednesday night because I did get a second job with a friend of mine. It's about a month long. I work at a shoe warehouse, and I work from 9 to whatever time it is then, and then I work my other job Thursday nights. So I work 2 jobs Thursday night. Then I get up Friday morning and I have to go to the temporary job again. So usually I record on Friday mornings, but this week we're recording on a Wednesday, and for the next few weeks, Wednesday recordings. So just bear with us here. Show will still go out on Fridays on 3 p.m. Eastern. YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, Anchor, i95sportsnetwork.com, all that good stuff. Just bear with us as we record Wednesday shows for the next 4 weeks. All right, here we go. Final topic of the day. There has been a report that Antonio Brown has come close, or the fact is that the Seahawks and the Ravens had discussed signing Antonio Brown. Now, before I say why I think the Seahawks make more sense, I'll say why the Ravens don't make much sense. Baltimore has a stacked roster. I mean, they have the video game himself, Lamar Jackson. That man is a video game. He is Michael Vick 2.0. Add Madden 04. He'll see him in Madden 21. He is a video game. That's literally what he's on the field. He is unstoppable, kind of like Michael Vick was, and how Michael Vick was in 2000 Madden 04. Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown is coming back. He was injured last year. I wouldn't argue that he could be up for comeback player of the year, the years he's about to have with the Ravens. They also have their tight end. I think it's Mark Andrews, the tight end. They still have him. They still have a talented defense. Jar Harbaugh's a great coach. Baltimore is all they need. They're ready. They just got to, they got to focus, because apparently, according to Lamar Jackson, they overthought the Titans, and that's why they lost in the playoffs. I don't believe any of that. But anyway, Baltimore, they already have enough pieces to where they'll be fine. They don't need Antonio Brown. When it comes to Seattle, however, there's a difference there with the Seahawks. You don't know what to expect from DK Metcalf in 20. I'm not trying to say he's gonna be bad. I think DK Metcalf is a very talented receiver, and everyone was surprised that he fell so far in the draft. I'm pretty sure he went like second round or end of the first. People were surprised. He was like such a talented receiver. Yeah, he had a pretty good rookie campaign, but now it's time, now that the rookie campaign's over, it's time to show us what you're really made of. Is he going to do that? Philip Dorsett. I loved him coming out of Miami. I remember back when I did a Miami blog with the different people. I was so high on Philip Dorsett coming out of Miami, and he has not produced the way I hoped he would in the NFL. So apparently he's on the Seahawks roster. I looked it up. He's on the Seahawks roster. Now the question is, how will he do in Seattle? Can he be the number 1 receiver? Maybe Tyler Lockett. What's going to happen with him? All those questions go away if the Seahawks would sign Antonio Brown. He will be their number 1. I don't believe there's any doubt in my mind at all with that. Not only that, but I'm telling you, if the Seahawks signed Antonio Brown, he would be the lock and key for the Seahawks to reach Super Bowl 55. Book it. It would just be over for the NFC. If Antonio Brown signed the Seahawks, guaranteed the Seattle Seahawks are in Super Bowl 55. There's no question. So there you have it. I mean, it's not a hot take. It's the report. The report is that the Ravens and the Seahawks were interested in signing Brown. I just think he'd be better off in Seattle than he would in Baltimore. But of course, when it comes to Antonio Brown, if you ever watch this, I doubt he will. The thing is with him, he has to be better mentally. You don't want to have him being a problem in Seattle like he was in Pittsburgh or in Oakland when he was he was so much of a problem when he was in Oakland. The team was in Oakland, now they're in Vegas, obviously. He was such a problem with the Raiders. He didn't even touch the field, and he was a problem. I mean, he practiced with the team a few times here and there. That's cool and dandy. But I'm talking about, actually playing with them. He didn't actually play with them. He was so bad. They finally just released him. And then remember that video where they had released him, and he ran out to his backyard. He's like, I'm free. Especially if you're Seattle, a franchise like Seattle, or even a franchise like Baltimore, You don't want that on your team. So hopefully Antonio Brown, his mental health is a little better. Maybe he's not as, I don't want to say crazy, but, maybe hopefully he's not acting out as much as he did. And maybe he'll get signed. Oh, by the way, there was a third team I meant to mention. Houston. Yeah, that would be a nice fit. I mean, kind of like Seattle, they have like these B receivers, C receivers in Houston. So I would think Antonio Brown would be a great addition, especially because you also have Deshaun Watson. I mean, he's a versatile quarterback, just like Russell Wilson. So you can run out the pocket. Antonio Brown can get open. Even not, and I forgot to bring this up as well. Antonio Brown does not drop the ball. He has had he averages over 1,000 yards a season receiving, over 100 catches a season receiving. It's incredible what Antonio Brown could do on the field when he's not crazy. And with that, we are done. It's Wednesday night, so enjoy the rest of your week. If anything else comes up, we'll talk about it next Wednesday. That's all I can do. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do. I'm also looking at the bartending, so stay tuned for those updates. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This has been another episode number 43 of the SCU Show.